Navigation abilities. It is for people to become hopelessly lost in the wilderness. Humans get lost in part because we do not pay attention and have lost ancient ways of reading the environment to navigate. However, humans' wayfinding abilities are also less precise than the abilities of other animals. While innate navigational ability differs, just about everyone can get better, said Daniel Montello, a geographer and psychologist at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Historically, not getting lost was a matter of life or death. One wrong turn could lead to a hyena's den or a nasty death from thirst. As a result, all indigenous cultures navigate in part by tracking the sun or the stars' positions in the sky relative to the fixed star Polaris, said Tristan Gooley, the author of The Natural Navigator. Those cues are good, if not better, than a compass in many situations, says Gooley. Human mental mapping stems in part from a brain region called the hippocampus, and studies suggest it can be strengthened with practice. For instance, one study found cab drivers in London have bigger and thicker hippocampi than the average person, said Colin Allard, a psychologist at the University of Waterloo in Canada. However, the sense of direction may also wither with disuse. Some studies have found that using a GPS for just a few hours seems to impair people's navigational skills in the short term, Montello said. Many people get lost because they simply are not paying attention, he added. It is also true that the human sense of direction is simply less precious than that of many animals. For instance, migratory birds can use internal magnetic compasses or sonar maps to create incredibly detailed mental maps. Moreover, many animals' sense of direction is instinctual and is genetically hardwired. In addition, humans have faulty internal sense of direction. For instance, several studies have found that people walk in circles when blindfolded or disoriented. For instance, in an unfamiliar, heavily forested area, Allard said. African desert ants, by contrast, can march in a straight line for miles. They have this prodigious ability to keep track of where they are with respect to their initial starting point, says Allard. They have a very accurate internal odometer. Nevertheless, while animals' sense of direction is more precise, we have a much more flexible wayfinding ability, Montello said. For instance, migrating animals travel thousands of miles but usually go to specific predetermined locations. However, humans use landmarks, directional cues, a sense of how far they have traveled, as well as myriad other cues to go vastly more places, often with no prior knowledge. Knowledge. Human beings have the capacity to learn a lot, whether it is through books or through life. During their journey through life, people learn things from the beginning to the end. This is part of what we call knowledge. Knowledge has always been the key to success. It helps us in solving our problems and also molds our attitude towards life. But knowledge comes from diverse sources. Life can give different experiences to different people and different ways to share them. A chef does a proper course of 4 years, but the cook we have at home, the mother, the wife, even the father, the husband, has learnt the art of cooking from experience and is no less a master. One of the traditional methods of gaining information or knowledge is books. There are many kinds of books. Some are to be swallowed, some others to be chewed, and still some others to be digested. Knowledge from books is a systematic and conscious gain. The transfer of knowledge from books, with or without a teacher, takes place in a proper and systematic manner. On the other hand, someone has rightly said that life itself is a great teacher, actually, a tough one. It gives us all opportunities to learn and evolve, if only through our mistakes. But life rests the decision making power on us to follow the lessons learned or not. Time is a great teacher, and as we live by, we learn to navigate through life. I feel that though knowledge gathered from books is more accurate and precise, it is actually something that we have experienced, which is very difficult to forget. Knowledge gained from books is important, but one tends to forget it as it seems forced from above. As we traverse the journey called life, we face many challenges. The experience become part of our learning and lead us through the rest of the journey.